Hello, welcome to this open mic and limited live reading. We're gonna start with this music as we wait for a few more people to show up. By the way, I created this music, it's my own original beats using their GroovePad app. Hey, I'm doing well. So we are going to be reading from this very short book. See, it's such a small book, but very powerful. It's called Beyond the Gender Binary by ALOK. I highly recommend following his page, their page as well. And yeah, they're great. So I was a featured artist at the Los Angeles Poets Society yesterday, so that was fun. Alright, I guess that's good enough to start. Going to start now, and I think I will switch on this heater because that's too much noise. Alright, so Beyond the Gender Binary by ALOK. I will read this by the Pocket Change Collective, and I'll read the back cover first. Actually, let me flip the camera too so you can see it properly. Pocket Change Collective, Beyond the Gender Binary, ALOK. And the art is by Alushka Draws. And then this is the back cover. And then they say, is it really a choice when you don't get to select the options you are given to begin with. And then there's the blurbs by Billy Potter. Thank God we have ALOK. I'm learning a thing or two myself. Sam Smith says, when reading this book, all I feel is kindness. And then we have Princess Nokia say, Beyond the Gender Binary will give readers everywhere the feeling that anything is possible within themselves. And actually, let me also show you how small the book is and how it's like only 63 pages, which is very important because this book is meant to be accessible. In fact, the entire Pocket Change Collective is all about accessibility, especially for really important topics like this, so that people can quickly understand what the issue is. So, about Pocket Change Collective. Pocket Change Collective was born out of a need for space. Space to think, space to connect, space to be yourself. And this is your invitation to join us. These books are small, but they are mighty. They ask big questions and propose even bigger solutions. They show us that no matter where we come from or where we're going, we can all take part in changing the communities around us, because the possibilities of how we can use our space for good are endless. So thank you. Thank you for picking this book up. Thank you for reading. Thank you for being a part of the Pocket Change Collective. And then here's ALOK's bio and the illustrator's bio. ALOK Vague Menon is a gender non-conforming writer, performance artist, and public speaker. Their creative challenge to the gender binary has been celebrated around the world. Website alokvmenon.com, Instagram alokvmenon, and then the illustrator of the cover is Ashley Lukashevsky. Is a visual artist who uses her illustrations as a tool to strengthen social movements. Her clients include Refinery 29, The Washington Post, and the ACLU. She is currently based in Los Angeles. Instagram Ashluka Draws. Alright, so, and then in the front cover flap, gender is a story, not just a word. ALOK Vague Menon dares the world to see gender not in black and white, but in full color. Taking from their own experiences as a gender non-conforming artist, they show us that gender is a malleable and creative form of expression. The only limit is your imagination. And Pocket Change Collective. In today's world, we are searching for voices of clarity, innovation, and change. Welcome to the collective, Pocket Change Collective. Small books with big ideas from today's leading activists. All right. I will now start reading. Now, if there are people available for the open mic, I will save this live. Otherwise, I will not be saving it, because usually the quality of the videos that end up isn't very good anyways. I'd rather record a separate video for the daily readings, so most likely I won't save. So I will continue reading from the book. The dedication. This book is dedicated to everyone who has ever been made to feel like they were too much or never enough. That's the dedication. Prologue. Welcome, Spoken Black Girl. This is a book about the gender binary, specifically why we need to move beyond it. The gender binary is a cultural belief that there are only two distinct and opposite genders, man and woman. This belief is upheld by a system of power that exists to create conflict and division, not to celebrate creativity and diversity. We deserve more options. This false choice of boy or girl, man or woman, male or female is not natural, it is political. The real crisis is not that gender non-conforming people exist. It's that we have been taught to believe in only two genders in the first place. Gender diversity is an integral part of our existence. It always has been and it always will be. There is a shocking disconnect between the way the government and the media speak about gender non-conforming people and the reality of our lives. This gap between representation and reality continues to get worse. As we face heightened prejudice and harassment on the ground, more policies and public statements deriding us continue to be made. This disconnect is not a coincidence, it is a calculation. This is how it has always worked. The best way to eliminate a group is to demonize them, such that their disappearance is seen as an act of justice, not discrimination. But this is about discrimination. And it's time that we address it. The reality that many gender non-conforming people cannot go outside without fear of being attacked is unacceptable. The issue is not that we are failing to be men or women, it's that the criteria used to evaluate us, to begin with, is the problem. And that's from the introduction. So the reason why I'm reading this book this week for Women's History Month is because trans women are also women. Last week I read from Deeper Shades of Purple, Womanism in Religion and Society, and I also read from Hood Feminism. And this week I'm reading from Beyond the Gender Binary by ALOK. And actually I'm going to flip the camera again so that we have hi. This is what I'm reading from. All right. And then, okay, so this is the first part of the book, Beyond the Gender Binary, and there's a little sign saying, call me they. By the way, I go by they as well. Hi, Kurtip11. ALOK says on page 9 of the book, which is basically the beginning of the book, the days that I feel most beautiful are the days that I am most afraid. They tell us to be ourselves, but if you listen closely, there's more to that sentence. until you make them uncomfortable. Be yourself until you make them uncomfortable. There is always a limit, a breaking point. Once you cross the line, then you are too much and put back in your place. In this way, acceptance of self-expression becomes conditional. Express yourself using this template under these constraints with this time limit. Go! It's like being handed over a Scantron sheet and demanded to paint a self-portrait on it. Wow. Let me repeat that. It's like being handed over a Scantron sheet and demanded to paint a self-portrait on it. It's like being handed over a Scantron sheet and demanded to paint a self-portrait on it. It's like being handed over a Scantron sheet and demanded to paint a self-portrait on it. It's possible, of course, but why even bother when a canvas is within our reach? Right? A canvas is within our reach. Is it really a choice when you don't get to select the options you are given to begin with? The other day, I left the house wearing a teal dress, purple lipstick, and a full beard. I have always, and I mean always, loved color. If you flip through our old family photo albums, it will feel like sifting through the pages of a fashion magazine. There I am at 5 years old, wearing a vibrant floral print t-shirt with fuchsia shorts, a pink lunchbox, and a huge smile to top it all off. What I like about colors is that when you mix them together, they become greater than the sum of their parts, something different altogether. No one goes around asking, but are you really more blue or more green? Teal is not blue-green. It is teal. Teal is not blue-green. It is teal. But I am getting ahead of myself here. Back to the other day. I have to admit it was foolish of me to leave the house in that dress. New York winters are unforgivingly cold, but there I was with no coat, trekking through the streets on my way to the grocery store. As I walked down 6th Avenue, two people started pointing and shouting, "That's a man in a dress! Hey everyone, look! It's a man in a dress!" I looked all around me. But I couldn't find whom they were talking about. There were no men in dresses to be found. Besides, even if there had been, how is that remarkable, let alone an insult? It's an article of clothing. It's like saying, "Hey everyone, look! It's a lamppost!" Nothing out of the ordinary here. Just keep on moving. I realized that they were in fact addressing me when they took out their camera phones to take some shots of me. My heart started to beat faster. My chest tightened. I turned up the music in my headphones. I walked faster. I did not look back. This is a disconnect I have come to know well between what people see and who I actually am. I have learned that the most lethal part of the human body is not the fist. It is the eye. What people see and how people see it has everything to do with power. Let me pause there for a bit. Before I continue reading, let's play some music and dance for a bit again. Let me try. Alright, I'll continue reading now. So they were saying just now, this is a disconnect I've come to know well between what people see and who I actually am. I've learned that the most lethal part of the human body is not the fist. It is the eye. What people see and how people see it has everything to do with power. When I finally reached the grocery store, I still couldn't relax. The thing about being visibly gender nonconforming is that we are rarely, if ever, defended by other people in public. Everyone thinks that since we made a choice to look like that, we are bringing it upon ourselves. The only reason people can fathom why we would look this way is because we want to draw attention to ourselves. They can't even consider that maybe we look like this for ourselves and not for other people. We are reduced to a spectacle, and when you are a spectacle, the harassment you experience becomes part of the show. As I checked out my groceries, the person next to me in line approached. "Oh dear, here we go again." "Hey, can I ask you something?" I started to walk away. "Why do you dress like that?" I stopped in my tracks. This felt like it could be genuine curiosity and not something more hostile. As I prepared to exit the store, they came a little bit closer. My heart beat a little bit faster. They lowered their voice. "It's just that I used to wear skirts and dresses when I was younger." "What happened?" I asked. They laughed, but their eyes told another story. They laughed, but their eyes told another story. Their eyes told another story. There are some questions that have no answers. How do you express pain when you can't even locate the wound? Wow. How do you express pain when you can't even locate the wound? How do you express pain when you can't even locate the wound? How do you express pain when you can't even locate the wound? How do you express pain when you can't even locate the wound? How do you express pain when you can't even locate the wound? How do you express pain when you can't even locate the wound? It's like when you let a balloon loose into the sky. You don't know where it goes, but you know it went somewhere far away. And I'll pause there because that's the end of that section. Welcome Nino and Lady Cafe Vino. This is page 13. Let me flick the camera. So it's right there. That is today's reading from Beyond the Gender Binary by ALOK Menon. So now we have the open mic portion that's limited. Open mic. And if you want to share your own original poem, you're welcome to share. I said it's a limited open mic because it's only for women, femmes, and non-men, non-binary people. And if you identify as cisgender men, I recommend read a poem by a woman rather than your own poem. Yeah. And I'll wait a few minutes. And if there is no one else, I might just end the live. I mean, if there's no request. That's okay, we can chat later. I'm gonna end the live soon anyways. Alright. Alright, thank you everyone for watching. Have a wonderful day.